What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Facility Management Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Javier. In this next episode, what I want to do is I want to talk about the four functions of a headline. Okay, so a headline is, we're going to be going into copywriting a little bit. Copywriting is something that I get really excited about. Okay, let me rephrase that. There are times whenever I don't want to write anything because my brain is dead from other stuff I've been working on. And other times I'm like, man, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be really cool. Copywriting is cool because it's in my opinion, if you know how to write copy, it's basically sales at scale. Okay, it means that you can write to people, at multiple people, hundreds of people versus just speaking to one or two or three or four people. Okay, and so what I'm going to share here, they're going to be the four functions of the headline. So this is a little snippet here that I thought was really cool. Headlines do more than just get attention. The Dale Carnegie headline, for example, lures you into the body copy of the ad by promising useful information. The Hellman's ad also gets you interested in reading more, and it settles a specific type of reader. It selects a specific type of reader, those people who are interested in baking cakes. So this is just from a book, and I'm reading this little blurb here because headlines are huge. All right, so you might see this in a lot of things. Like example, in LinkedIn, you might see someone that writes really good copy, like have one or two sentences at the top, and you're like, oh, interesting, and you click on read more. That's a headline. Or you might see an ad that you're scrolling, and you're like, oh, that's really cool. And like maybe like the image or the video kind of makes you stop, and then you read the headline and you're like, oh, that's really cool, and then you click on learn more. Okay, like where I'm coming from, headlines are going to make you do a lot of actions. Or a website, you go to a website and you're doing a search on something, and essentially before you go to the website, you go on Google and you do a search for something, like say I'm looking for a facility service provider in Texas. Okay, and then you look, and then you're scrolling down and you're looking at the what's the hyperlinks. Okay, that's in the marketing world we call those title tags. Okay, and so you're looking for the headline to see if it's going to solve your problem, or like, hey, how do I find an HVAC technician in Dallas, Texas? And so you write that down or something like that, and you look for the headlines, and then you read the description. Headlines make you click on the ad, or make you click on the search. Okay, what you see on Google or on Bing. If you're using Bing, good Lord, change, please. Okay, but headlines, they've got to be written a certain way. And so like I'm going into our company, Ratmate, and looking at all of our blogs, and I'm starting to change headlines because they're not written a way that people are like, oh, that's really cool. They're not written a way that is like SEO friendly, that is captivating, that sort of stuff. And so what I want to share here is that there are four functions to a headline. If you can hit all four of these, all of a sudden, you're going to be getting more traffic to your site, to your ads, to your emails. Like subject lines, that's a headline. Like all this stuff, first sentence in your subject line, that's a headline. And your goal of that headline is to get them to read to the next sentence. And then after that, you get them to read to the next sentence, and the next sentence, and the next sentence. So number one, the function of a headline, number one, is to get attention. That is the first thing. You're trying to capture attention. Attention is the most valuable asset right now on this planet as we speak. So what I mean by that is that everyone is doing everything they can to capture attention. So think about this. In the Super Bowl in 2022, for the 21 season, okay, it was the Rams playing the Bengals, okay? Coinbase had the best ad, in my opinion. It captured attention. A, they had millions and millions and millions of people watching this football game. B, they had the right audience watching this football game because, like almost all of the amazing hip hop artists back in the 90s and 2000s were there. C, they all know what the hell a QR code is, and they know how to pull out their phone and scan that shit. Okay. And D, it went to a site that captured their attention, like, interesting, investing in crypto. I've heard about this stuff, and I can do this just now like this on my phone. Really cool. You see what I'm saying? So number one function of a headline is to get attention, capture attention. If you can capture attention, then all of a sudden you're onto something. There are times whenever I'm writing things and I share it to my wife, and my wife's like, I actually want to know what you're going to be teaching here. I'm like, are you serious? Like, you found that interesting? She's like, yeah. What are you going to share? And then I'll tell her, she's like, oh, I already knew that. And so it's kind of funny because, not that I let her down, but the headline drew her in, or like to a point of like, I want to know. Okay? All right. Number 2, what a headline does is that it helps you select the audience. This is critical. So a lot of times people have their websites with obscure headlines. And it's like, here's one: the keys to all of your problems. That's an obscured headline. Who is this referring to? Like auto cars? Like, but my car doesn't need a key anymore. Like, my car just uses a phone. I don't need keys. Or I don't put a key, well, my problems are different. How do you know what my problems are? Like, those are obscured headlines. So you need to write your headline to select your audience. So I remember when I was running my B2C business and we were running ads to basically to moms, I would basically say, and not always in the headline, but I would put it in like the top of the ad copy, like, hey, moms in Castle Rock. So guess who I'm talking to? Moms in Castle Rock. Or like, I would say like, are you trying to lose 25 pounds? Now, we can't say that anymore on Facebook because they banned the whole like lose like weight stuff. But before they did all this banning stuff, like, guess who that targeted very quickly? It was like, oh, the person that wants to lose 25 pounds or more, I want to lose 25 pounds. So it naturally selected those folks. Your headline should be selecting who you want in your audience. And so we do this a lot in our business at Ratmate, okay? We use headlines that say like, vehicle wraps for any business anywhere in the US or something along those lines. I just kind of made that up. We don't even use that headline. I just made that up. For your, IFM company, it could be like facility services anywhere in Southern Texas. Guess what? That's very selective. Like, basically, if you're not in Southern Texas, you're not going to be, we can't serve you. Now, I don't even know if Southern Texas is a region. I just made that up as well too. All right, but you get where I'm coming from. It's like, your headline is going to help select your audience. Number 3, okay, the function of a headline is it delivers a complete message. And you should not have a headline that is super long. It should be like, okay, got my attention. You picked me out, and I know what you're talking about. It delivers a complete message. Okay, so that headline should be, it should tell everything about who you are, what you do, how to contact you. Like, it should be everything. And it doesn't have to be super duper long, especially for a website, especially for a Facebook ad or a LinkedIn ad or a Google ad, especially for like a blog post. They should not be super duper long, but they should be enough to capture attention. And so, like I'll give an example here. Let me find some old blog posts. Oh, you know what? Here we go. I'm going to find some. And then you might do some research and figure some of this stuff out. But you know what? I don't really care. Check this out. The 5 best facility manager certifications to further your career. It's a pretty good headline. I called out who we're going after is facility management. All right. It got your attention. It's the 5 best. Not, it's like, you narrowed it down to 5? That's amazing. I selected the audience. It delivered a complete message. We already know what we're going to be talking about. Okay. Here's another one. The Ultimate Facility Management Security Execution Guide. It's all about security and facility management. Here's another one. 9 frequently asked questions about parking lot repairs. It got my attention. It's like, there's 9 of them? I only had like 3. What are the other 6? Okay. We know we're talking about facilities and parking lots. and it delivered a full, complete sentence. So these are things. These are headlines that I write, and it gets people like they read it and they're like, "Oh, interesting." And guess what they do? They fucking click on it. Which leads us to the fourth thing, is that it draws the reader into the body copy. Your headline should draw them into the body copy. They read it, they're like, I want to read that. Like tabloids, great idea, right? The tabloids do a very good job on writing great headlines, and people are like, that is really interesting. I need to read this. I want to know why Ben Affleck broke up with so-and-so. I want to know why, Leonardo DiCaprio keeps, basically having like one girlfriend every 3 months or something like that. Like, I'm just making stuff up here. I don't even know if these are even true. Okay, so, but it should lead you into like, I want to know more. And it should lead you into like getting into the body copy. And then when you start writing your body copy, you're writing that first sentence that makes something like, man, that's really cool. What's the next sentence? Oh man, that next sentence. Oh, I want to read about this. I got to read about that. And it keeps getting to the next line, to the next line, to the next line. So that's kind of how you're writing it. You're capturing their attention, and then you're calling out who your audience is. And then what was number 3? What did I have on here? And then you're delivering a complete message of what it is. And then you're drawing them to read the rest of the body copy. And they're probably going to skim that body copy, because if that headline is written well enough, they should know what is encompassed in that thing. Now, if you're like, well, what about the 9 things? Like, yeah, you can't put that in a headline. I get that. But it gets people to refer back to it. It becomes like a hack or a tool or something that people reference to, or someone that bookmarks it, or someone's like, hey, you need to read this. I didn't know about this. Like these other 8 things I knew about, but this number 9, I had no clue about. We need to look into this. You see what I'm saying? And so that's kind of what you want to start structuring your headlines. And this is why there are 4 functions to a headline. If you can't write a headline, the best way to write a headline is just to watch what other people are doing, what other companies are doing, and start modeling them. Okay? See what they're doing. What words are they using? And the best thing to do is to use the like your, okay? Like, because you need to talk to your audience. Talk to them. Okay? Call them out and see what people are doing, what other companies are doing, and learn from that. And then just clone it, model it, duplicate it, do it again. When you start learning how to do that, you start writing better headlines. And then you start learning how people start responding to those headlines. So you're like, I wrote this headline, but not a lot of people kind of were intrigued by it. I changed up the headline. I used this, and this, and I pulled this number in, and I said this instead. And all of a sudden, like, everyone is engaged now. That is really cool. And that is the best way in how you start writing great headlines. When you start writing great headlines doing this, things start changing. Okay, you start getting more traffic to your website. You start getting more phone calls to your AE team. You start getting more people responding to your emails. Like, there's a lot into it. Like, your open rates start going up. Like, there's a whole bunch to this. Okay, so just understand, like, writing headlines it's a skill. It's a very, very tough skill to nail and do very well with. Sorry, I'm fasting right now and I need to consume some water. So with that, take the time to learn how to write headlines. I've got plenty of episodes in here that talk about copywriting and branding and stuff like that. There's a lot of content out there that you can probably start using to help you write copywriting. There's one book that I don't have it here, but it's called Copywriting Experts, or no, it's called Copywriting Secrets. Is it Copywriting Secrets? I think it's called Copywriting Secrets by Jim Edwards. He basically teaches how to write copy. And that's a very good book. It's like $8 to buy the book. I'm not kidding. Like, just Google Jim Edwards Copywriting Secrets, buy the book on his website, because otherwise you can go to like Amazon and pay $25 for the book. But I think I paid like $8 or $9 for it. He's gonna upsell you with some other shit. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, if you think it's valuable, buy it. Okay? Like, I get nothing out of this. I'm just letting you guys know this, okay? But that's how you're going to improve your copywriting. A, model what other people are doing that's successful. B, start implementing it. And then C, start consuming what other people are doing as well too, and learn more about copywriting. The better you get at copywriting, the more you'll sell. Okay? I promise you that. Like, 100% promise you that, okay? All right. So I hope this was enough. 3 things I always ask at the end of my episodes. Number 1, please give us a 5-star review on this, on our podcast. Give us a 5-star on on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. Number 2, please connect with me on LinkedIn. You can find me on linkedin.com/in/Javier Lozano Jr. And number 3, share this podcast. We're trying to grow this industry. We want people to be educated and know how to actually market correctly in the facility space and in the property space. Because a lot of the marketing that I see is just kind of boring and dull and very there's nothing here. There's no story. There's no brand. There's nothing for me to connect with. And I see that a lot. And it's just unfortunate because the industry has so much more to offer. So much more to offer. And so if we can increase the way we market, then we increase the way we stand. And you're like, well, I don't want to have a lot of competition. Then build your brand so that you have no more competition. Build your brand so people are buying your brand, not your business. See the difference? They're not like, well, you're cheaper than the brand down there. No, I like you. I don't care what the price is because you deliver. And that's what it is. All right. So we're trying to grow this industry. So if you can share this podcast, that'd be great. Other than that, have a wonderful day and I'll talk to everybody later.